you can win $32,000 on the turn of a card on Card Shark. And if you play your cards right, you can win this beautiful car. And now, the host of Card Shark, Bob Eubanks.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Card Shark. So nice of you to join us today. When we left off last time, we had just crowned a brand new champion. We were ready to play the big money. So let's begin right now by meeting our champion. And Gina, please come in here. Here she is. Hi. All right. This is going to be fun now.
I'm ready.
Gina was just crowned our champion. You know, not only can you win a lot of money, but also we have a really nice car that you can win. So this could be fun. Before we get started, let's meet our two lovely dealers. Here they are, Lacey Pemberton and Susanna Williams. Good morning, girls.
Good morning.
Now, Gina, you haven't done this before. Let me tell you that in addition to all the money you can win over there, we have also added a couple of jokers to the deck, and that simply enhances your chances of winning that new car that we were talking about. And just for becoming our champion, well, Susanna has one joker for you, so you know you at least have one chance of winning that car. So we're really rooting for you. First time playing the big money. Good luck to you. Let's give the lady $200, and we're on our way today. Get them, kid. Here we go. All right, Gina, here's the first card. With $200, there's a 4. What do you want to do with it?
Okay, $100 higher.
100 higher than the 4, the lady says. Is it? Yeah.
Okay.
Now you got 300.
$200 higher.
Now hang on to that 5 and go $200 higher than the 5. Yeah.
Yes, all of it lower.
$500 now. All of it lower gives you another 4,000. Come up here, give you another $400. You now have $1,400 and a 4.
Okay, I'm going to say 1,000 higher.
Woo, the lady bets good, doesn't she? All right, $1,000 higher than the 4. Yeah.
Yes.
$2,400 player change.
Okay, I'm going to bet.
Remember, you can change one card per line. You know that.
I would like to change that.
You want to change the 10? Which one you want?
Give me the 2.
Number 2. All right, let's see what the 10 becomes. The 10 is now an 8.
Yeah, all of it lower.
All of it lower than the 8. Yeah. You now have $4,800.
Okay, I want to bet 2,800 lower.
2,800. Whew. 2,800 lower than the jack. No. It's okay. You still got 2,000. Come up here. You got the ace. You know how much you can win now.
All of it lower.
Sure. First time playing the big money, you're about to win $4,000. All right. Good for you, hon. Okay, that's exciting. Now, you've got $4,200 in cash. Susanna has a joker for you. I want you to hang on to that joker because over here, Lacey has 7 numbered cards. Behind one of those cards is the word car. If you can find it, you're going to win this beautiful car. Gene?
Gina, it's the Renault Alliance DL 2-door sedan from Renault. Featuring comfort and convenience with sure response and efficiency. Comes with standard features and California emissions. Okay, Bob.
Thank you, Gene. All right, Gina, this is your chance, son. Go over there and find that car, and you'll drive it home. So good luck to you. We really want you to win.
I'm going to go with lucky number 7.
Lucky number 7, the lady says. Come right over here. You stand right here, and let's find out if you win the car. All right. If the word car is behind number 7, you win that car Gene told us all about. Good luck to you, Gina. Here we go. Is it behind number 7? No, not behind number 7. Let me tell you where it was. Had you gone over to number 4 today, it was sitting right there. But you're still our champion. That means that if you win again, well, you'll have a chance to win that car again. So far, you got $4,200. We'll be right back to meet a new challenger right after this.
This is your...
Well, our champ, first time over there, won $4,000. She's at $4,200 right now. And it's time now to meet a new challenger, and we're going to play our game again. So, Ed, would you please come in here and join us? There he is.
How are you, Edward?
I'm just fine. Tell me about Ed.
Well, Ed's name is Ed Martinez.
Yes.
He lives in Redlands, California. He and his bride celebrated their 50th anniversary earlier this year. We have 2 children, 4 grandchildren, and the smartest great-grandson you ever saw.
The smartest great-grandson in the world.
Yes.
How about that? Okay, well, it's nice to have you here, sir.
Thank you.
You know how to play this game, I assume?
Yes.
Fine. Susanna's dealing out cards from decks the 2 of you cut before we went on the air. It's the first player that wins 2 games. wins the championship and goes on to play for the big money. So good luck to the two. Yes, she's a tough lady. Nice lady, too. We're ready to play. First question goes to you, Gina, and this question involves some gentlemen that's been with us all week. They've been here. They are 10 married men in our studio audience, and there they are. All right, Gina. Here's the question. Gina, before the show, we asked these 10 married men, think back to when you were a kid and what you wanted to do for a living. Tell us, are you doing it now? How many of these 10 men said, yes, the job they have now is the one they wanted as a kid?
Well, all the little boys that I knew way back when wanted to be astronauts and doctors and lawyers and so forth. Few of those guys could be astronauts, doctors, or lawyers, but I think it's rare that you end up doing your life's dream. People are lucky if they do. I think it's going to be low. I think 2.
2 of them out of the 10, you think, actually have the job that they wanted as a little kid. Ed, what do you think? Higher or lower than 2, sir?
Looking at that crowd down there, and that's a tough, noisy crowd, I'll tell you. But my guess
Well, they're noisy anyway.
Yeah. My guess is that truly, looking at them now as compared to what they were when they were youngsters, I bet that not more than one of them is doing what
So you're telling me it's going to be lower than the 2. All right, let's find out. The actual number of these men who are doing what they always wanted to do is 0. Yeah, you're right, Ed.
Hey! Wait, got one. Got one.
It's a great question because I sure didn't want to be a game show host. They didn't have television when I was a little kid or game shows, either one. Peter, what did you want to do when you were younger, sir?
I want to be a fireman.
Oh, dangerous job. Good. What do you do now, sir?
I'm an ophthalmic technician now.
Oh, that's dangerous, too.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
That was real close, though, wasn't it? Thank you, fellas. Nice to have you with us today. Okay. All right, Ed. You ready?
Yep.
First card, Ed, is a king.
Oh, lower.
I knew. Yeah, lower. There's a 9.
Let's go lower again.
He's going lower than the 9. No. That means that Gina gets a free shot at the cards. Gina, here's your card. It's 4.
Okay, let's go higher.
Higher than the 4, the lady says.
Lower.
Lower than the queen.
Let's go higher.
He's going on. Chose not to freeze. Is it higher than the 8? No. Back to the 4 she goes. All right, so we didn't make any progress at all on that one. We'll go to another question. And this is an educated guess question, Ed, and it's yours. Ed, according to the World Book, how many miles is it from the North Pole to the center of the Earth? According to the World Book. North Pole to the center of the Earth. Heck, Ed, everybody ought to know this.
Where do they get some of those questions? I'm sure I don't know. Educated guess.
Yes, sir.
12,000 miles.
12,000 miles, the man says. Gina, will it be higher or lower than 12,000 miles?
Well, the North Pole is probably pretty close to the center of the Earth since it's below 0 down there. I think it's going to be higher.
Okay. Would you write that down? I want to use that one later. The North Pole is close to the center of the Earth, so it's pretty cold down there. Okay. 12,000 miles, what Ed says. She says it's higher. The actual number of miles from the North Pole to the center of the Earth is 3,950 miles. Wasn't higher, it was lower. All right, Ed. That was a tough question. I would have no idea at all either, gang, believe me. What do you want to do, Ed?
Lower.
Lower than the king. There it is.
Higher.
Higher. Is it higher? Yeah.
I'm going to freeze.
Freeze on the 10. Yeah, okay. Now, he saw what happened last time. Freeze right there. Keep your opponent away from those cards. So Ed has a slight lead in this game. We'll be back to find out who wins game number 1 right after this. See you in just a moment.
Billy Mays here.
We're in game number 1 with Gina and Ed. Ed has a slight lead in this game, and let's find out who's going to win it. Gina, the next question is yours, and here it is. A famous politician, Gina, in India, used to spend the night in bed with nude women without touching them, just to prove he could resist the temptation of sex. So we surveyed 100 bachelors, and we asked them, would you have the willpower to do that? How many bachelors claimed they would?
Okay, that is a tough one. I've known a lot of men who have been in similar situations with friends, on certain trips and things, and they have been able to. They've been really good, and they've been able to not touch the other person in bed. However, I think that a lot of guys would probably say they couldn't. So I'm going to say the number is going to be high.
How many
Low.
bachelors?
It's going to be low.
How many bachelors said they could spend the night with these nude women without touching them just to prove they could resist the temptation of sex?
I think it's going to be low. I think it's going to be 45.
45 out of 100 said they could. Ed!
I don't know where Gina's friends come from. I mean, these guys said light on. Well, anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
She said 45.
45 out of 100 could actually do that. Higher or lower, Ed?
It's got to be lower than that.
You think it's lower than that?
Got to
Yeah.
be lower than that.
Probably depends on what those nude bodies look like, don't you
Yeah,
think?
I think so. And what he was doing to her.
The actual number of bachelors who claimed they would have the willpower to do that is 31. Yes, it was lower. That means there were 31 liars, Ed. Yes.
I think you're right, Bob.
You froze in the 10. What do you want to do with it?
Let's change it.
Change it? All right, thank you, Susanna. The 10 is a queen.
Let's go lower.
Lower than a queen, the man says no. Lower.
Go.
Gina, you're playing free with the 400.
Okay, let's go higher.
Higher than a 4 it is.
Lower.
Lower than the 10, certainly is.
Higher.
Higher than the 3, it is.
Lower.
If it's lower, you win game number 1. No. And back to the 4 you go. And Susanna, I'll give those to you. You can take those
Okay.
home with you if you'd like.
Oh, yes,
Okay,
thanks.
that means we're going to go now to sudden death. Does that scare you? Just the word
Not
scares
yet,
me.
not yet.
Yeah, all right. That's the fourth and final question of this match. Someone has got to win the game on the next play of the cards. Control is really what's important to you. And Ed, the question is yours. Here it is. We surveyed 100 first graders. We asked them, are your parents really old? How many first graders said their parents are really old?
I know when I was in the first grade, I thought my parents were Methuselah and his wife. I was sure that they were old people.
I couldn't even say Methuselah in the first grade.
I couldn't say it. I thought it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I'm going to have to say that number is probably about 45.
45 out of 100 first graders said their parents are really old. Gina, higher or lower?
I'm going to say the number is going to be higher only because when I was young, I thought that my mother and father were ancient. Sorry,
Sure.
Mom and Dad.
Okay. The actual number of first graders who said their parents are really old is 26. No, wasn't higher, it was lower. Now, this is sudden death. So this is important. Ed, here are your choices, my friend. You can play the queen or change it, whatever you want to do. Play it out. If you goof, Gina wins the game. Or you can pass it on to Gina, who must play off the 4. If she goofs, you win the game.
Let's pass it to Gina.
Pass it to Gina. All right, Gina, up to you, my dear.
Okay, let's go higher.
Is it higher? Here we go, it is.
Okay. Let's go lower.
Lower. She says it's lower than the 9. It is not. That means that, Ed, you win game number 1.
Thank you.
All right, Edward, there's your first game. $100 is yours. If you
Beautiful.
win the next game, you're the champ, and you'll play for the big money. Gina, that means you've got to win this game in order to stay in the match. Susanna's going to deal out the cards from the same deck, and we're on our way now with game number 2. And, Gina, the first question is yours. Gina, we surveyed 100 people, and we asked them, if something bad were going to happen to you tomorrow, would you want to know about it today? How many people said they would want to know about it?
I think that's going to be a very low number. I, for a fact, would not want to know when my life is going to end, whether it be tomorrow or in 100 years. I believe it's going to be about 22.
22 out of 100 said they would like to know if something bad was going to happen. Ed?
Well, so much of this, I think, depends on what's bad and what's medium and what's good and so forth and so on. If it was really bad, I think the number would have to be lower.
So you're saying it is lower than the 22. All right, let's find out. Actual number of people who would want to know if something bad were going to happen to them is 33. Not lower, it was higher. And Gina, you have the cards. All right, Gina, your first card's at 8, and you can change
Okay, I'd
it.
like to change that card.
You bet. Susanna has for you a 2.
Okay, let's go higher.
Higher than the deuce, it is a 10.
Lower.
Lower, the lady says. No. Back we go. Ed, you're playing free. Free shot for you, Edward, and there is a deuce.
Oh, higher.
Higher, yes.
Higher.
Higher again. You know. Right. Guys win this thing the tough way, don't you?
Boy.
Cards are bad. We must pause. Let's do that. See if your luck changes a little bit. We'll be right back with more card sharks right after this.
So, Mark, tell us about your...
Let's continue, if we can, now with game number 2. And the next question goes to you, Ed. This question involves our 10 married men in our studio audience. Here they are. They've been here all week, and they still haven't lost their enthusiasm. Nice to have you with us, fellas. Ed, before the show, we asked these 10 married men, if you and your wife were shopping for her new bathing suit, would she pick out a skimpier one than you would? How many of these 10 men said yes, their wife would pick out a skimpier bathing suit than the guys would?
Boy, what a question. What a crowd of guys, and you know, hard question to answer unless you have an opportunity to know their wives. Well,
Well, we'll see if we can get a personal interview for you, Ed.
if you get a personal interview, I would say that the question was,
How many
would-
said that their wife would pick out a skimpier bathing suit than the guys would pick out for them?
I think it's going to be a low number. I would say 3.
3 out of the 10. Gina, what do you think? On higher or lower than 3?
I think that their wives would probably pick out something that covered them a bit more. So I think the number is going to be higher.
Okay, you're saying higher. The actual number of these men whose wife would pick out a skimpier bathing suit is 3. Right on numbers.
$100.
All right, Ed. $100 for you. $100 to share with our guys down there. Okay. Which 3 of you guys are married to those wild women? Hold up your hands. Francis! Francis, what do you want her to wear, a 3-piece suit?
If they had them, yes.
You don't like your wife to wear skimpy suits out among
My wife, no. I like looking at the other women as long as they have them.
Sit down, Francis. Thank you, fellas. Edward, here we go.
Okay, higher.
Higher than the deuce. Yes, it is.
Lower.
Lower than the king. It certainly is.
Can I change that one?
No, you can't change it.
Can't change
You can either play or freeze.
I'm going to freeze.
Freeze on the 9. All right. Now, it'd be nice if you could change over there in the middle.
Isn't that
You
nice?
can't
Yeah.
do that. Okay, you'll freeze right there and keep your opponent away from the cards. Let's go right to another question.
Okay.
Gina, you got to do some catching up.
Yes.
Gina, we surveyed 100 Catholic priests, and we asked them, do you think women should be allowed to become priests? How many priests said that women should be allowed to become priests?
I think that the Catholics are probably very conservative, especially the priests, and since if the man has been the priest for so many years, I don't think too many of them would really want women to start becoming priests. I think that they think that role is for the men. I believe out of 100, 15.
15 out of 100 Catholic priests would say they think women should be allowed to become priests. Ed, what do you think about this one?
I think there are now many relatively young priests in the priesthood, and although they have always considered the priesthood was a man's opportunity, that these days more of them believe that women should be allowed to be a member of the cloth, and I think that number would be higher.
Higher than that even.
Right.
Let's see. Actual number of priests who said women should be allowed to become priests is 39. Boy, it was higher. Indeed, it was higher. Now, Ed, you can change the 9.
Let's change that.
I knew you'd say that. The 9 is now a 7.
Oh, bingo. Let's go higher.
Pardon me. I choked on the 7. Okay, is it higher than the 7? Yes, it is. Now what are you going to do?
Now I'm going to freeze again.
Freeze again. Sure. Freeze right there. He's got one card to go. To win the game, to win the match. Also coming up is sudden death. That'll add a little intrigue to it. We'll pause for these words, and we'll be right back. Over there.
I can't believe I used...
Hey, watch this. Richard Dawson kisses and tells, but Ray Combs keeps his lips to himself in back-to-back episodes of Family Feud, followed by $100,000 Pyramid.
Welcome back to Card Sharks. We're going to have to finish up tomorrow, okay? That'll be a fun way to start. We're going to start off with sudden death to find out who our champ is going to be and who plays for the big money. So we must go. Until then, I'm Bob Eubanks for Susanna Williams, Lacey Pemberton, Gene Wood, and the whole gang at Card Sharks saying thank you very much for watching our show. We really appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Some of our departing contestants will receive a travel cosmetic bag, a new Active Length Lee Press-On Nails. Beautify Active Hands Press-On in seconds. Active Length Lee Press-On Nails. For quick, quiet cleanup, Bissell's Double Brush Classic sweeps all floors. The perfect companion to your vacuum cleaner by Bissell. An LCD timer, and enjoy the homemade taste of Hormel chili. And look for the Hormel chili coupon in this week's Sunday newspaper. A cap and scarf. And Smith Brothers Cough Drops, soothing coughs for 140 years. Pleasant tasting, effective in bags and boxes. Smith Brothers. A Hostess serving set, and America's most popular chef introduces Chef Tel's Pasta Pour-Overs. Delicious pasta sauces, all you have to do is like to eat. A calculator, and when you feel a cold coming on, take Coracetin. It helps relieve cold symptoms. Coracetin at the first sign of a cold. And the member of our studio audience will receive the KitchenAid mixer. Can handle most every task, from a single egg white to kneading yeast doughs with attachments, it's a complete food preparer.
So, Mark, tell us about your new show.
Russian roulette is calming. It's a game show that really makes you comfortable. It's easygoing. It's like the kids say, you know, chill. I mean, look at those guys. They're having a blast.
Tune in, drop out. Russian Roulette premiering June 3rd on Game Show Network.
Little help, Ryder.